Good. Thank you. Great. Protect us this week. All praise is all. With your Holy Spirit, protect us with your outstretched arms. You are our refuge and our Savior. Cover us this week with your goodness and encompass us with your mercy, that will be safeguarded in body and soul this week. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Ms. Jamie, do we have anyone signed up to speak this morning? None? Okay, we'll move to item number 6, and that's the acknowledgement, our first acknowledgement of the day for Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Proclamation for the month of April, presented on behalf of Children's Alliance of South Texas. Ms. Michelle King is the CAST director. Michelle, you got a bunch of folks over here. You want to have them stand and introduce us to everybody?
Good morning. I'm the Development Director for Children's Alliance of South Texas. I want to thank you all for being here. So with us, we have Jenny Nugent, who's one of our therapists, Cheyenne Polk, who is a family advocate, and on the way, because they went to the other courthouse on two, Christina Martinez is our programs director.
There they are.
I'm so sorry. Samantha Stallworth. Samantha, tell me your title again. Mental health advocate is a new position in our organization. Nicole Lennon, sorry, I almost wanted to say, Nicole Lennon is a therapist also, and then Sandy Dominguez is our supervisor for our inbox. And then up here we have Children's Alliance of CASA of South Texas, I'm sorry, Bill Moraine, Frankie, Joni, of course, our executive director, I'm sorry, Tina, and we're very thankful we have Mandy Barrientos is our one of our volunteers, and Julie Ron is a very strong advocate and supporting us as well. So we're very grateful for all of the volunteers that are here in JT's helping with CASA South Texas. So we're sister organizations. We do very different work, but on behalf of the children. And so we are partners in our efforts. So we're very grateful.
CAST has become, CAST and CASA, pretty incredible organizations, and I encourage you, if you have questions, if you're looking to volunteer, if you're looking to help, these are two incredible organizations to become a part of. So with that being said, I will read the Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Proclamation. Okay, whereas an estimated 558,899 children were victims of abuse and neglect in the United States in 2022, the most recent year for which there is national data. Whereas in federal fiscal year 2023, 3.8 million reports were made to Child Protective Services and CAC, investigated 247,543 cases involving sexual abuse, whereas in 2025, an estimated 2,000 children died from abuse and neglect in the United States, a number that is consistently on the rise over the previous 5 years. Whereas in 2024, children's advocacy centers around the country served some 372,613 child victims of abuse, providing victim advocacy and support to these children and their families. Whereas it is estimated that at least 350,000 children are in the child welfare system in 2025 due to abuse and neglect. Whereas child abuse can have long-term physical, emotional, and long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas in Texas, 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. 98% of the perpetrators are someone the victim knows. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children, effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas child abuse and neglect are a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions require input and action from everyone. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we encourage public awareness of child abuse and neglect through education, recommit county resources to the cause, and promote community involvement through local activities. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promoting the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families, now therefore, I, Wade J. Hedke, Karnes County Judge, proclaim April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Karnes County and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. I will sign this on this day, March 24th, 2026. And Michelle, I'll have a copy, an original copy for you, and I'll have one that we'll file with Jamie as well. Would y'all like to take a picture? Y'all want to come up here?
Inside your packets, you have information about the services we provided over the fiscal year 2025. Is it okay if I show this?
You may.
So in Karnes County, in the fiscal year 2025, we provided 31 forensic interviews, 2 sexual assault nurse exams, 2 non-acute medical exams, 92 hours of child therapy sessions, 17 hours of adult therapy sessions. That could be for a child who is now considered an adult who came to us as a youth because they do get lifetime services, or it could be the non-offending parent. So we have poured into Karnes County over $22,000. And unfortunately, I wish that number was higher, only because, not that I wish there was more child abuse, but it's out there and it's just not being reported yet. So the more knowledgeable we can be, the stronger we can be to safer our communities. And we're thankful to be able to partner, again, with CASA, who advocates on behalf of children in foster care, and ourselves, who are there for the children of the non-offending family members. So thank you so much for being here and supporting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Y'all, come on back here and we'll get us a picture. Yeah, I did.
If you're wearing blue or here to, you're again, you don't like child abuse, one join us, please.
Casey, yeah. You may have to take it, Casey. I don't know if old Shorty over there is gonna be able to get it done. Yeah, we may have to run up the stairs in a second while everybody's in place.
Don't give her ideas.
Can you do it, Casey, or not? If not, we can run up.
We can fit, and I'll run upstairs too.
Not at all.
All right.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna run upstairs really quick.
Oh my God. Two. She's smaller than.
Yeah, I'm
I'll send you the
Smaller
picture.
than him.
You got it.
I'll send you that one.
And the door's locked. Were they able to fit everybody in?
I think so.
Casey, that's all right. It's all right. Were you able to get us all?
It's locked, but I got some.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you. You're very welcome. Michelle.
Sir. Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh. Yes, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, item number 7 is another proclamation declaring April 2026 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And Miss Bobby Joe is over here with Thriving Hearts Crisis Center. Bobby Joe, would you like me to read this one as well? It's not quite as long. I will gladly do it. Oh, I'm sorry, it was folded, it is long, y'all bear with me. Okay, Commissioners Court of Karnes County, this proclamation is National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month in Karnes County for April 2026. Whereas every 68 seconds, another person in the United States is sexually assaulted, and in Texas, 2 in 5 women and 1 in 5 men are victims of sexual assault, and in fiscal year 2025, Thriving Hearts Crisis Center rendered 552 services to 93 survivors of sexual violence and provided 94 hospital accompaniments for sexual assault exams. Whereas most victims are sexually assaulted by someone they know, and only 10% of rapes are ever reported to law enforcement. Whereas it is appropriate to salute the more than 20 million victims who have survived sexual assault in the United States and the efforts of victim volunteers and professionals who combat sexual assault. Whereas national and community organizations and private sector supporters should be recognized and applauded for their work in promoting awareness about sexual assault. Whereas police, forensic workers, and prosecutors should be recognized and commended for their hard work and innovative strategies to increase the percentage of sexual assault cases that resolve in the prosecution and incarceration of the offenders. Whereas sexual violence is a persistent and pervasive problem in our society, one that requires attention year-round in order to foster healthy communities. All citizens must support the effort to end sexual violence every month of the year. And whereas national and community organizations, businesses, and the private sector and the media are urged through national sexual assault awareness of sexual violence and strategies to decrease the incidence of sexual assault. Now, therefore, we, the undersigned, do hereby proclaim the month of April as National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month in Karnes County, and ask all citizens to observe this month by supporting the goals and ideals of victims and those working towards the awareness and prevention, and by participating in community efforts. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hand this 24th day of March 2026. And I will sign this. Bobby Joe, I will get you a copy of this as well, and one to Jamie. We need to make one edit on it, however, okay? Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'll do that. Okay, any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll move to item number 8, and another acknowledgement of the 2026 Soil and Water Stewardship Week proclamation declaring April 25 to May 6, 2026 as Texas Soil and Water Stewardship Week. Mrs. Nato and Mr. Zerzumbik are here. Are you reading? You gonna give me a little break, or you want me to read?
I'll read it this time.
Yeah.
You need to drink the water. First, I want to thank y'all for putting this on the agenda early. Appreciate the support the judge and the commissioners have done to the soil and water conservation. One little sore subject that I will bring up, I wish we could get I guess the sore eyesight on County Road 228. We could bring that back up and see what we can do about cleaning that area up. It's just a sore sight. I don't know if anybody has driven by it and looked at it.
Is it water related, Pat?
Do what?
Is it water related? If not, I don't want to talk too much about it.
Well, it's not raining, so it's just all the sacks and old equipment. It's grown up in grass. It's a fire hazard. right now.
Let's address that on another item.
Okay.
We'll stick with the
Okay.
proclamation.
But at this time, I would like to proclaim April 25th through May the 6th, 2026, Texas Soil and Water Conservation Stewardship Week. The 2026 Soil and Water Conservation Stewardship Week theme centers around soil, where it all begins. This theme recognizes soil as the foundation of life, productivity, and resilience across Texas. Soil is more than just the ground beneath our feet. It is the starting point for healthy food systems, clean water, strong habitats, and striving communities. Since 1939, the Texas State Soil and Water Conservation Board and soil and water conservation districts across Texas have been working to encourage the wise and productive use of our natural resources. Though voluntary conservation programs, technical assistance, and education will help Texans implement practices that keep soil productive and resilient for the long term. It is our goal to ensure the availability of those resources that the needs of all Texans, present and future, can be met in a manner that promotes a clean, healthy environment and strong economic growth. The soil does the quiet work beneath the surface, day after day, to make food production and healthy ecosystems possible. Without it, nothing else moves forward. We need to protect it, and we need to protect Texas, because soil is where it all begins. As far as our directors, I'm Pat Jerzombik, chairman of the board. I may not pronounce this last name right, Rayanne Naradu, Lambert Gentry, Shanna Hall, Gary Horn, Donna Nato is our secretary, and Lyndon Eli is our field rep. Once again, I thank y'all for y'all's support and help.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and read the actual proclamation. Whereas healthy soil and clean water is a benefit to everyone, and whereas effective conservation practices provide the soil, water, animals, plants, and air that can ensure a rich standard of living, and whereas our security depends on the robust management of natural resources, and whereas stewardship calls for each person to help conserve these precious resources, therefore, I do hereby proclaim April 25th to May 6, 2026 as Texas Soil and Water Stewardship Week. And I've got it signed here. This will be your original copy. You want to come up? Donna, you want to come up for pictures? Bobby Joe, do y'all want to do a picture after this one?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you. This is yours? Yes. All right, then. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 9, we had, Justin called this morning and we had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna table item number 9 until further notice. Item number 10, discuss, approve, disapprove, updated recommendation for Karnes County Welfare Board members. Bonnie Ramirez is president, Melissa Padron is the vice president, chair, Celeste Rodriguez, Tina Radke Jones, LaDonna Card, is the treasurer, Mrs. Joyce Holmeyer is our secretary, and Debbie Whitty. Bonnie sent me an email last night or this morning. She is ill, so Melissa's here to present on her behalf.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So Ms. Ramirez is sick this morning, and she's not able to be here, and she asked if I would come in and take care of this. I've realized in conversations that the Commissioners Court may not really understand what our Karnes County Child Welfare Board does. I know that when I started working here about 25 years ago, it had already been established, and I was nominated to be on the board several years ago. We were very fortunate that we had a lot of members that had a very long tenure on the board, and we still have some that are willing to do that. However, we have some new people that are interested in becoming board members, and we've presented the names. The Commissioners Court does have to approve them, so that's why we are here today. But we just went ahead and brought all the names that we have that are active right now, just to get everything updated and in order again. The purpose of the Karnes County Child Welfare Board is we work hand in hand with DFPS to ensure the safety and protection of the children in our communities. Not only the children in our communities, but more specifically the children that receive CPS services. We are often called upon to purchase items that DFPS doesn't necessarily have funds for, or it's just something that we can provide. Examples of things that we provide are, let's say, there's an emergency removal of some children in Karnes County. They're placed with their relative. The relative doesn't currently have children. They don't have anything for children. They'll come to us with request for hygiene needs, request for bedding. We often receive a request for bunk beds because, you can put 2 children in one small area in a room. So just meeting the needs of those that have stepped up to help keep the children in a family-type home while the investigation is being done and the parents receive the skills that they need to hopefully reunify that family. The names that we're bringing forth today are Bonnie Ramirez, myself, Melissa Padron, LaDonna Card, Joyce Holmeyer, Tina Radke Jones, Debbie Whitty, and Celeste Rodriguez. So I'm open to answer any questions you might have, but I'm also here to request that you approve the names that I have presented to you.
Pending background check?
Yes, sir. So we did reach out to our regional board member, and she did advise that best practice would be to have the Commissioners Court approve the people first, and then go ahead and request the background checks. We have, everybody, as far as I know, has submitted their information for the background check. So at this point, we're just waiting for the results.
Any discussion from the court?
No. I'll make the motion to approve item number 10 as presented, pending background checks.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
On that. Item number 11, acknowledge the receipt of annual county 911 funds from Southwest Texas Regional Advisory Council. That's our STRAC, in the amount of $8,510. Funds are to be used at the discretion of the EMS chief on eligible items or projects per DSHS, Department of State Health Services rules prior to 8/31/2026. Chief?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So this is an annual acknowledgement that we do once we receive our trauma funds or county 911 funds from DSHS via STRAC. So just for context, for everybody's awareness, every year Department of State Health Services provides the county 911 funds through the regional advisory councils across the state of Texas, ours being Southwest Texas Regional Advisory Council, and then it's subsequently sent to the agency. In this case, because we're the only agency having jurisdiction within Karnes County, we get the full amount, whereas other counties that have multiple providers get it subdivided out via an appropriate method. So we just have to acknowledge receipt of those funds and then spend those on eligible expenses, training, equipment needs. There's specific rules that the SHS lays out. We're going to spend most of it on training equipment, getting ready for moving into our new facility. So starting to get some surplus there. I'm happy to answer any questions the court may have.
Any questions for Casey?
Sir.
Okay, item number 12 then will be the acknowledgement of receipt of donated assets to Karnes County EMS from San Antonio College EMS Training Program, a used Onan commercial generator, and that is a model 5.5 HGJAD with the serial number B120307543. Generously donated for the benefit of the agency's fleet maintenance program. Casey.
Good morning again. So I received a phone call from the program director from the phone call through an associate from the program director of San Antonio College's EMS program, asking if we were interested in a gently used Onan generator. As a department that maintains all of our commercial generators on our ambulances in-house with our certified staff, I was, well, sure. And lo and behold, a couple weeks later, they delivered that to us. And it is, best case, I think it has 20 hours on it. So it is almost practically new. It's an older model, but practically new. So it came out of their simulated ambulance that they use for the training program. They reported a mechanical issue with it. We'll gladly diagnose and repair that. I said, brand new, they cost about $6,000. So it's a really good thing to have donated to our department. We're happy to accept it. Very thankful for that. As this acknowledgement is before the court, I'll coordinate with the auditor's office to make sure we get that reconciled on the asset list for our department and tagged appropriately, and we'll add it to our fleet of generators.
Awesome. That's a pretty sweet gift. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Casey.
Thank you.
Any questions for Casey while he's up here?
Just thank you, San Antonio College.
Yeah.
They're a great partner. We take a lot of their students on a weekly basis, and it's a good relationship. So we're happy to have that.
Great. Thank you, Casey.
Thank
you. Item 13, discuss, approve, disapprove, review proposed lease offers from the Burlington Resources Oil and Gas Company, LP, i.e. ConocoPhillips Company. Lease offer has been reviewed by County Attorney Tapia and advised to present before court. This is something that was brought to us or mailed to us a few weeks ago. Mrs. Tapia has reviewed it and just put this money in the bank pending approval of court.
Judge, may I?
Yes.
I just had some input on it. I kind of asked around a little bit what current lease rates were and royalty payments, and we're being offered a 20% royalty. I've heard of some people getting as much as 33% and some as few as 18%, and I've heard that 25% is more common lately. I would like to negotiate trying to get the 25% royalty.
Works for me.
I also, sir, I haven't had time to look up where this .172 acres is, but I would also recommend that we have the contract amended where it's for no surface usage. I would hate for us to be locked out of our own property if a company chose that they needed to use the surface for their needs.
Okay. Any other discussion from the court? Okay, then we will, is there a move to disapprove in a second?
I'll make a motion to disapprove.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor for going out and trying to get some more? Aye. Anybody opposed? No. Item 14, discuss, approve, disapprove the RFP for removal of steel framing, Karnes County Archive Building. Jennifer Tapia.
This was just put back on the agenda again because we didn't get, the last one, the bid was unsealed and then one person turned it in after the time. So just putting it out there again for bids.
Okay, so
It's the same
don't know.
RFP.
Same, is it out?
No, this is to approve it, to put it out again, then publish it in
okay.
the paper and
Okay.
everything like that, so.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 14 as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor, right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Item number 15, discuss, approve, disapprove entering into a contractual agreement with Motorola for 5 years for LPR/vehicle manager subscriptions and Command Central Aware. Sheriff.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning, sir.
So Chief Katara was actually working on this. He left me a little note. He said the LPR Vehicle Manager and Command Central Aware has proven to be an asset to our organization. With the use of the LPR Vehicle Manager system, we have been able to solve and assist in our investigations, proving the system not only works but helps reduce the man-hours it would have taken without it. Command Central Aware has also proven to be an asset with this platform. We have been able to check on our deputies' status by providing real-time video feed from their patrol vehicles and body cameras, ensuring our staff is safe. If approved, this 5-year contract will save the county taxpayers approximately $6,229.61 each year. The original amount without the price reduction for 1 year was budgeted for in this fiscal year, so no budget amendment would be required. I just talked with Ms. Tapia here on the way up here, and she said that she did confer with Chief Katara, and she was okay with it.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 15 as presented.
I'll second.
Judge, may I have some?
Yes, sir.
So, Court and I spoke with the sheriff earlier this morning, and I apologize. When these systems first came online, I wasn't really familiar with what they were. Automated license plate readers are very similar to, in the news, you may have heard of flock cameras. It's a system that goes out there, it automatically reads your license plate and tracks that data. And then if it sees that your vehicle is stolen or any, I don't know what else it might ping on, Sheriff, but it automatically detects and notifies law enforcement that this license plate is related to a possible crime or stolen vehicle. I'm concerned because I fear it may start to infringe upon our Fourth Amendment rights in this country. I know that so far the Supreme Court has decided that it does not, because it is not a constant surveillance of your information, but over time, as these pictures are taken, your data is being stored, and then it can build a picture over time of what you are doing, even if you are a law-abiding citizen and you have not violated the law in any way. There are several cities around the country that have had these systems, and they have removed them. If the court would allow me, I would just like to read a couple news articles from CNN. In Aurora, Colorado in 2020, a mother and her family, including a 6-year-old daughter, were pulled over at gunpoint and forced to lie down on hot pavement. ALPR technology was central to the stop. Police mistakenly flagged their Colorado license plate as matching that of a completely different vehicle from a different state, a stolen motorcycle registered in Montana. The incident, captured on video and widely condemned, led to a $1.9 million settlement from the city in 2024. In 2018, I won't name the man's name, and his younger brother were driving to visit their parents for Thanksgiving. But that evening, they found themselves held at gunpoint by a group of law enforcement officers. The incident was a result of technology gone wrong. The vehicle had been flagged as stolen by an automated license plate reader, ALPR system. When he drove by, the reader alerted authorities. This is one of over a dozen cases verified by CBS News during a 6-month investigation into incidents and wrongful stops, and even several instances of ALPR technology being abused. This is just a tool, and in the right hands of good people, it is a great tool. It helps them, and I am all in favor of giving our law enforcement the tools they need. I think our sheriff's office is doing a great job, but I fear that in the wrong hands, it can be turned into a weapon. And we live in a cyber world where everything gets hacked and our information is stolen almost daily. And I fear that by continuing to utilize this technology in our county, we might be opening ourselves up for all kinds of liabilities that I am not in favor of. So, Court, I am not in favor of extending any contracts for this services. I also need to point out that the services for this 5-year contract for transparency, $88,350.15.
Thank you for that discussion. There's a motion and a second on the table. I'll take the vote now. All those in favor signify by right hand. Any opposed? Commissioner Beatrick? All right, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Item number 16, discuss, approve, disapprove, entering an interlocal agreement with the City of Kennedy for financial assistance to install a traffic signal on US 181 near Freeney Drive in Kennedy, Texas. Commissioner Beatrick and Giesler.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioner Geisler and I met with the City of Kennedy yesterday. Plans are still being worked on and finalized. We have about 1 month, they believe, before the final plans will be delivered to TxDOT for approval. So at this time, I'd make a motion to table this.
Okay, any other discussion? None. Item 17, discuss, approve, disapprove request from Ford, Powell, and Carson Architects and Planners Incorporated to procure geotechnical services necessary to complete the design of improvements for the courthouse restoration project. Commissioner Lissy.
Yes, this is our agreement with Ford Powell and.
You need to move your microphone closer so people can hear
This is
you.
an agreement that has been approved by our county attorney, and so we can move forward with our courthouse restoration project.
Judge, may I?
Yes.
Commissioner Lissy, I just had a couple questions. I want to keep everything moving forward, but I had a couple questions on the contract. The previous contract was, they were going to drill 4 50-foot holes, and it was going to cost $14,800, and this contract is for 3 holes, 40 feet deep, and it is for $20,750. Is there any further explanation? Did they give you that, are they doing more work that's going to justify the higher expense?
I think this is a exploratory process. And like I said, Ms. Toppy has read it, she's approved it, and so we can go ahead and go to work on getting this courthouse fixed.
And I did read through this contract and the previous contract, and I did have several concerns with the previous contract that were going to hold, where we would not hold them liable for any damages and things like that. Ms. Tapia did clean that up, and I appreciate that from her office. So the only other question I had was about the cost of the fees.
What was the difference between those two contracts to up the cost of that and reduce it by 1 hole?
I don't know, sir. That was my question.
You didn't, okay. Jennifer, do you know the time between those two contracts? Because for 4 holes of 15,000 to 3 holes of 20,000,
Right.
that's reducing it 1.
I mean, I didn't negotiate the contract. I look at the contract to make sure that it covers us and our exposure and everything like that. So as far as negotiating what was being done, I don't
Okay.
know what
I'm
those
sorry.
negotiations
Thank
were.
So do you want to move forward with that, Commissioner Lissy, now
Yes.
that they're,
Yeah, the negotiation was between Ford Powell and the geotech. So yes, I'd like to move forward with it.
even though it's 1 less hole and $5,000 more?
Yes.
Jennifer, is there any way that, I know we need to keep the process going, but that we can do a motion on there with the regards of, seeing why that expense was there? It's not much, but if we let everybody just do that, it'll add up to a big amount.
The problem with doing that, though, is if you do that and then there's something comes out that you don't like or don't approve of, then
Right.
you're back again. So it would, if it's a question that you need to be answered before you approve it, I would suggest that you get that question answered first. If there's any further discussion or negotiations that need to be done, those can be done. So it just kind of muddies the water if you're trying to do that in advance without knowing what those factors are.
I agree with that.
I do too, agree with her too. After her explanation, we need to check into that.
Okay, all right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, we'll take no action on item number 17. Get Commissioner Lissy back on that to more information. Okay, item number 18 is discuss, approve, disapprove the recommendation by Commissioner Precinct 2 to award contract to Wells Construction to construct the Karnes County Precinct 2 Service Center.
Well, again, this is our contract to hire Wells Construction to start this project, and want to accept their bid for $1,587,032.93. And it's been approved by Ms. Tapia. She's looked at it, and get it approved, we'll go to work.
What was the amount again?
$1,587,032.93.
And 90 what cents, Commissioner? 93?
And this is a contract, you brought this in this morning.
That's the contract, Your Honor. Everything was in the RFPs. There's like 2 whole binders essentially that covers everything. It's a really nice, clean way to put everything together, so. But it references everything that's in those binders, so I have reviewed it. I've reviewed the RFPs again, and everything is covered in there.
Really familiar. Any other discussion from the court?
No, sir, Judge. I'll make the motion to approve item number 18 as presented.
I'll second it.
$1,587,032.93.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor, aye. Right hand, anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Okay, item number 19, we have our consent agenda. The reports that we have on here are JP 1 and 2. We have our district clerk, Constable Precinct 3, AES, and the EMS. And I'll pull the EMS report. Casey's got a little talk he wants to do about something on there. Tom, you got something?
Yes, Judge. Two budget amendments, that was approved in the last court budget amendment 2026-12. That was to allocate $4,000 for repair for the county shared vehicle. Item 2026-13, we received the NRA grant for the constables last year for duty weapons. So that money was put into liability last year. This year we're acknowledging it, that it is revenue, and it gives the use of the constables to use that for their weapons.
Casey, you want to come up and speak?
Happy to answer any questions the court may have on the report that was submitted, but in the context of the calls that you have in the report, early part of February, our crews were involved in a case of a motor vehicle collision on Highway 80 near the auction barn. It was a gentleman that suffered a catastrophic facial injury, and the family has reached out to provide an update and is entertaining months down the road, once recovery has completed, to do a nice reunification with the crew and the patient, and we'll have that form here. But I wanted to highlight for the court and the public that this case, the care that was provided by our team, the Halo flight team that transported him to VAMC, and that of the military surgeons that took care of the gentleman, were highlighted in the quarterly casualty care conference of the entire United States Military Joint Trauma System and the Defense Health Administration last week, Thursday. So it was a very humbling and honorable opportunity our department had to present that case and receive feedback from the experts that did phenomenal work restoring this gentleman's quality of life for himself, his wife, and his 2 young kids. So kudos to the crew. I always brag in private from all my guys, but as I told the judge, I wanted to take the opportunity to come before the court and recognize the case, number one, but obviously also the opportunity to present that to world-leading battle-ready surgeons. It was pretty cool. So, thank you.
You hear me brag a lot on our EMS department. They are incredible,
Yeah, they are.
and just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job, Casey.
They do all the awesome work. I just coordinate
Crack the
the
whip.
service.
You just shine, huh? Thanks, Casey, and your crew.
Thank you, Casey.
Thanks.
Any other reports that need to be pulled?
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda with budget amendments.
I will second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor, right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Do we need to discuss any of the items on, for item number 20 from the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll have our updates. I will get started with my update, since it is listed on our agenda for y'all. Updates from a county judge, which is me. After Commissioners Court last week, on the 10th, we had our jail inspector show up, and so I went to the jail, met with the sheriff and his staff on some things that are being corrected there, and had a GLO meeting, had a meeting with El Oso and Trailer and Associates for a grant that we're working on with El Oso to provide more water. Had folks pop in for constituent meetings, and I also had a juvenile hearing, so it was a full day on the 10th. On the 11th, we had county court, also had another geo inspection. Typically, whenever the jail commission comes, they hit either geo first or our sheriff's office, our jail first, and then they switch and go to the other. But the warden and the sheriff are aware immediately whenever the jail commission is in town. Also worked on some e-grants with Ronnie and the sheriff's department. I forgot, $300 and something thousand was this last one that we got. I say we, Ronnie does all the work on those. Took a couple of days off with my family on the 12th and 13th, and enjoyed a norther blowing through Port Aransas on the beach. It was beautiful. On the 16th and 17th, we had our first jury trial of the year. I love jury trials. It is an awesome way to see how your court system works, and they're open. You can come sit and listen and watch. But we had a 2-day jury trial, so that was good. On the 18th, I met with our security team and had a meeting with them on things that we're seeing with the security staff-wise, and they're doing an incredible job. I'm fully staffed right now with folks over at the annex and floating between the annex, tax office, courthouse, and I want to thank the sheriff because he lets me have Becky a lot of the time, and a lot of the time whenever we have court, he also has Mr. Stovall back there and some other folks that he sends over to make sure we're all safe around here. Also had some probates on the 18th in the afternoon. On the 19th, more probates, and had a great meeting with Commissioner Precinct 1. And in the afternoon, had more probates, had a full day of probates, and I love probate. On the 20th, had my Camino Real board meeting, so that's a trip to and from Lytle that is always interesting. Yesterday morning, I had a meeting with El Oso and a couple of the El Oso board members. They reached out looking for some funds, and I politely declined their request for some significant funding. You know, you give to one, you got to give to all, and that's something that we got to keep an eye on. Also had a meeting with Justin, my emergency management coordinator, and Langford. Young man came down and met with Justin and I, and we were putting together our hazard mitigation plan that is going to be something. It's going to take some time, but we're putting together a pretty significant plan. Obviously, today is the 24th, and you're getting to look and listen to me right now, and with being said, that'll move to Commissioner Precinct 1's report.
Thank you, sir. After the primary election, many of my constituents expressed concerns about the election process. I've had several meetings with residents to hear their concerns and answer their questions. I've also met with our elections administrator several times to discuss these concerns. Members of the Child Welfare Board reached out with a need for secure storage of their supplies. I've been working with them to find a location that works well. I also attended their March board meeting with the hopes of gaining a better understanding of their operations and how the county can support them. I attended the latest Kennedy City Council meeting. While there, I learned that Kennedy needs an updated hazard mitigation plan that is included with the county's plan. I met with our emergency management coordinator and the judge about our mitigation plan, and I sorted through paperwork from the previous EMC for data that may have been useful for updating the plans. Events of the last few weeks highlighted the need for additional secure storage and the need to clean and organize the existing spaces we have. The offices on Market Street have a large storage area that has become a catch-all. I met with several departments about cleaning up and cleaning out the building. It has become apparent that multiple locations need help with items that should be declared surplus or salvage. I'm happy to assist your department with moving items to storage as we compile a list for the court to declare surplus. I had the tires replaced on the county's pool vehicle after the court approved it earlier this month. I completed a few other repairs and maintenance items and now feel comfortable with this vehicle being used for trips outside of the county. If you would like to utilize this vehicle for county purposes, please call or email me and I will schedule it for your use. The total cost of the county for repairs I have completed is $2,483.83. We have a concern at the offices at the square when the building was filled with the smell of burning electronics. I joined IT and maintenance in attempting to isolate the component causing the smell. We determined that the smell was coming from around the server closet. The IT department had Spectrum come out and inspect their recently installed hardware. Maintenance had the air conditioners checked and replaced a nearby water heater. We have not had that smell return, so hopefully it's been resolved. I attended the construction update meeting for the EMS training and admin building. Our stormwater plans have been approved by TxDOT and the project is progressing on schedule. Last Wednesday, I took a sick day and stayed home to rest. Last Friday, I attended the Kennedy Chambers morning mingle. This weekend, I assisted Road and Bridge at the hazardous waste disposal event sponsored by the San Antonio River Authority. We filled 2 semi-trailers with used tires. I'd like to thank everyone who participated in the event. I want to increase the services available to our residents through the driver's license office. Currently, you cannot obtain a new driver's license, renew a CDL, or add an endorsement in the Karnes County office. Those services can only be completed by state employees. When I reached out to the state, they advised their current funding did not support additional staffing. I gathered data on how many appointments come through our driver's license office. Last year, there were 4,853 customers served. Over this weekend, I shared this information with State Representative Ryan Guillen and asked for his assistance in the matter. There are a lot of upcoming events in our community. This Saturday, the Historical Society is hosting their annual Tea Jubilee at the historic Ruckman House in Helena. Also this Saturday, Otto Kaiser will host a 5K run and walk at the Joe Gully Park in Kennedy. Sunday, the Sheriff's Office will have a community Easter egg hunt at the Karnes City Park from 1 to 3. At noon on Wednesday, April 1st, the City of Kennedy will have their senior bunny hop at the Mill Convention Center. It'll be a dance and food for anyone who's welcome to come. On Thursday, April 2nd, Kennedy will have their annual Easter egg hunt at 5:30 p.m. at the Joe Gully Park. And on April 11th, Kennedy Parks and Rec will have an autism awareness walk at the Joe Gully Park in Kennedy.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Precinct 2.
Okay, thank you. I've had several calls and complaints about the fiber optic lines, and some were, they got up against a fence on some roads and broke some wire on the fence and put some pedestals in a driveway. And some citizens did not want the fiber optic and didn't want them on their property. And I spoke with Aspen, and they've been very, very good. They've resolved all the problems. Everything's been answered. They've been very, very easy to work with. Our Hobson Township project, County Road 372 and County Road 375 are being hauled out And paving will start on Monday after Easter, and all streets will be paved. Final stages for the west side of 181, design will be finished, and project will begin in the next 2 weeks. And when that's finished, we'll move into Panna Maria project. Design is being worked on for Panna Maria. Yesterday, our road and bridge engineer and I were in Panna Maria, met with some people, took notes on drainage improvements, and County Road 208 bonding has been completed and work should be starting soon. Pothole repairs are being worked on County Road 216 and 215. Edge work is being done on County Road 198 and 215. Edge work is being completed on County Road 211. County Road 217 is in the design phase. I've had several calls about trash being dumped on the county roads, and would like to thank Road and Bridge for their quick response in handling those problems. I'd like to congratulate a lot of our county youth that participated in the Houston Livestock Show. They did very well. And in closing, I would like to thank all the men and women in the military, veterans, and wish everybody a happy and safe Easter. And God bless America, Texas, and Karnes County.
All right, Commissioner Precinct 3.
Good morning. County Road 293, base is down and most of the drainage is complete. County Road 289, to receive punch lists, all work should be completed. County Road 302 is under construction from low water crossing to County Road 313. Had phone conferences and one-on-one meetings with some elected officials, answered constituent calls, and took care of any concerns they may have. Some of them just like to talk about county and ask me all kinds of questions about the county, so a lot of my time goes on talking with the constituents. I want to thank all the officers for their excellent work. I appreciate every department. This is a team effort, and I personally thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Precinct 4.
Attended the Precinct Service Center 2 meeting per the architect's request. Met with the City of Kennedy concerning traffic light project. I did call the architect concerning the Precinct 4 buildings. We are waiting on the civil engineer to finish up on his part of it, and then we'll be moving forward. I drove quite a few roads, identified, notified Road and Bridge of all the issues that I saw. Talked to multiple constituents on various issues concerning the county. From a road standpoint, County Road 132, they're in the final touches, putting the final touches to drainage. County Road 127, drainage improvements are underway. And County Road 302, drainage improvements are underway. They're set to be cement stabilized, and it's set to be cement stabilized next week. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Item 22 is reports from our tax assessor collector. Ms. Tammy.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. How are y'all today?
Well,
Good morning.
For the month of February, the current month to date for the Karnes County M&O was $2,146,997.25. The current year to date was $22,002,295.52, with 97.53% collected. At this time last year, at the end of February, we had collected 97.45%. And this morning when I left the office, it was 97.80. The reason it's going up so slow right now is because of the volume that we have. So we have to collect a lot of money because for the currently year-to-date was 22 million. So we have to get a lot in to get more collected. On the delinquent month to date, it was $17,251.17. The delinquent year-to-date was $78,201.92 with 12.82% collected. On the county INS, the delinquent month-to-date was $17.01. The delinquent year-to-date was $96.18 with 80.80% collected. On the road and bridge, The current month-to-date was $366,493.42. The current year-to-date was $3,755,299.85, with 97.53% collected. The delinquent month-to-date was $2,941.93. And the delinquent year-to-date was $13,329.45 with 14.15% collected. I just would like to remind everybody that quarterlies, if you're on quarterlies, the second payment is due by March 31st.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 23 is discussion and acknowledgement of personnel changes throughout the county. We have some new hires in the sheriff's office, the county attorney's office. We have a new dispatcher, a jailer, and we also have a new assistant county attorney. Promotions and transfers and reassignments in the sheriff's office, patrol deputy. We have a couple of resignations / terminations in the sheriff's office. No retirements. We are currently hiring EMS captain, a grant administrator. Road and Bridge is looking for an equipment operator 2. The sheriff's office is looking for an admin assistant, a bailiff, a dispatcher, jailers, maintenance, and patrol deputies. Item number 24 is payment of bills.
All right, Court, on page 15, item 5, there was an invoice coded in. And actually, it's a credit. It didn't show bracketed on the invoice, so the bills are being reduced by $1,144.48. So it's going from a positive to a credit. I always try to highlight the bills by the funds and so forth. So on the general fund, the total bills are $169,670.88, and one of the large items is appraisal district. We have to pay every quarter $75,438.63. Road and Bridge totals were $1,075,546.81, which Road and Bridge Special had appraisal district bill as well for $12,880.07. Courthouse maintenance fund was $68,896.96. Majority of that was for work that Ford, Powell, and Carson, the architects, did for us. And then the capital outlay, the total was $873,860.42, of which $868,440.99 is for the new EMS training center. And if y'all haven't been out there, I was out there a couple of weeks ago. It's really nice. It's a phenomenal building. And Judge, the total amount is $2,199,446.79. 2,199,446.79.
I'll make the motion to approve paying the bills.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item 25, acknowledge Commissioners Court will meet on April 14th, 2026 at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Karnes County Multipurpose Room over at the Annex that is located at 210 West Calvert, or offices on the square. I don't know what we call them all the time. 210 West Calvert, Suite 150, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Item number 26 is a motion to adjourn.
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All right.